stand up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Greetings, my festive friends. Can you believe it's Christmas Day? Merry Christmas, everyone. And please do remember that for me and my household, Jesus is truly the reason for the season. Now it's also day 25 of our Crafty Vlogmas journey. For those who are new to my channel, I am Mommy Lala, and today's guest is Jay by Craft by Jay. You've seen Jay join us in many of our craft vlogmas in the chat. And if you are joining us for the first time or miss those times that Jay was in the chat, and this is the first time you are hearing of him, Jay is an amazing card maker, crafter, cat dad, and self proclaimed nerd from the Midwest in the US. He is also affiliated with some amazing crafty brands like Cat's Crappiness, Not Too Shabby Shop, Rabbit Hole Designs, Prickly Pear Stamps, and Spellbinders. Jay has taken us on a crafting journey as he unveiled the contents of his Crafty Advent Calendar this year. And today's finale, thank you so much, Jay, for doing it here on our channel, promises to be a neat treat indeed. But before we dive into the excitement, let's not forget to connect with Jay on social media. All his links are in the description of this live stream. So don't forget to look it up and check that out. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into the crafty magic and welcome Jay, Craft by Jay, for the very first time here on Mommy Guide Inc. Hi, Jay.
Hello, Lala.
Hello,
How are
hello.
you? Good
I'm
morning. Merry
good, good.
Christmas.
Yes, actually, it's evening for us, but it's Christmas Day. Is it
Oh,
Christmas
that's
Day
right.
finally for you guys? It is, right? It's
It
also this.
it was, yeah. It's about 6 a.m. here, so it's
Oh, okay.
Christmas morning.
Oh, it's Christmas morning. Merry Christmas, Jay! Merry Christmas, everyone!
Yay!
Yay! All right. So let's say hi to the people in the chat first. Jay, of course, earlier on, Lynn was in the chat. Okay. I mean, in the
Oh, yay.
comments. Yes. Thank you so much, Lynn, for
Yeah, she said she
supporting.
was probably sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. So she actually posted that probably yesterday, right? So of
Prob-
course we have Bess in the crafts. Hold on, let's make this a little bigger. Okay, there you go. Merry Christmas, everybody. And we have Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Good morning. And thank you so so much for waking up ever so early just to support Jay here and I. Thank you so much, Melissa. Merry Christmas to you too. And morning, Sammy Pie, saying hi to my dear moderator daughter. Okay, so guys, again, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for dropping by. And please don't forget to hit that or smash that like button. All right, Jay. So let's talk about First Craft by Jay. So when did you start, honing in on your crafty, artsy side?
Probably a couple years ago, I had
Uh-huh.
always done sort of needlecraft with my grandmother when I was a kid, but right around maybe 2019 or so, I started doing more painting. I did a series of like watercolor cards at Christmas, and then
Mm.
found spellbinders and kind of kept doing cards all the year round. And now it's just, I don't know, I got kind of hooked on paper crafting just because I love the like creation process,
I
and I really love.
That's great. So it's a great thing that your grandma started you out into this creative journey, just like most of us, right? A lot of us have influence from
Yeah.
our grandparents, right? Okay, so but when did you actually decided to become a content creator and showcase what you're doing on YouTube and on Facebook? When did it all start for you?
That was probably about a year ago. I had been working with a mentor in the crafty space who was like, Jay, you really need to start doing shorts. And I was kind of like, okay. So I started doing shorts initially, and they were fun, but I felt like you didn't really get to connect with the audience the way you do with the lives and the longer
Mm-hmm.
form content. So I don't know. I just sort of got into that, and I found Lynn's community pretty early on. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was much smaller then than it is now, and I just started crafting with other people, and then with sort of our usual Saturday streams, we just really got into it. So I don't know. I just it's just nice. It feels like you're crafting with people in real life,
Mm-hmm.
even if
And
it's someone who's across
you
the
are very
country or across the
inspiring,
world.
Jay. You are very inspiring because, and I hope that those who are crafters, artists here in the Philippines, who are still on the fence of actually doing content about the crafts and the arts that they do, that you have inspired them at what you just mentioned, right? So that you wanted to engage more, you wanted to be with others more. So that's why you decided from shorts you transition to longer format, either video or
Hmm.
live stream. So guys, it's doable. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so Jay now is
Yeah,
a
and I mean,
content
like
creator.
you can start with your phone, right? I mean, you don't need
Exactly.
high end equipment to start. So I mean, I think that's the I don't know. I think kind of like I mean, like crafting generally, right? It's like the starting is the hard part, and then after that, it just sort of progresses.
Exactly. So you have been, fairly new, just a year, right? I've been live
Yep.
streaming for almost 2.5 years now. So Jay's just a year, but he has
Wow.
done so many amazing things. I actually met Jay also through Lynn. Okay, so we are part of Lynn's awesome community. So thank you, Lynn, for that awesome community that you have. And that's where I met Jay. I joined their MCA. So in the beginning, I said, "What's MCA?" So I didn't know what it meant. So I said, "What's MCA?" And then it says Mystery Craft, and I super duper loved it. So guys, if you want to join in on that, that's every Saturday for them in the afternoon. So that's about Sunday for us, 5 a.m. But since they are on DST now, it's about 6 a.m. But Lynn is on break till the end of the year, so that resumes probably in January, right, Jay? So there you go. So
Yep.
that's how we met each other. And just like what we have here in our community, guys, the communities where Jay and I are right now are also very similar, very supportive, very encouraging. Okay, so inspiring. So I think that's something that we have about us in the crafting community, right? So it transcends, culture, gender, or language, what have you, right? So our desire and love for the craft and art supersedes everything else, right? So that is super amazing. Okay, so our topic for tonight, Jay, is Advent Calendar. Okay, so can you tell us about Advent Calendar? What is it? Because it's something that's really kind of new for us, right? I know that a lot of people from the
Yeah.
other parts of the world have been doing this, but for us, it's fairly new. So
Yeah.
can you tell us
So
about it?
The original ones that I've been familiar with, like
Mm-hmm.
when they've been around since I was a kid, but they were more like candy focused, where you'd like open a door and get like a little piece of chocolate or something.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last maybe 5 to 10 years, they've been sort of gone everywhere. So you can get an advent calendar for really like any theme that you want. But there are several crafty ones, and there are also some more arts themed ones, depending on like what you're really into, or in health and beauty, and all sorts of other things as well. But the basic idea is you have like a countdown to Christmas, so you have like essentially a little surprise that you open every day, daily until you get to Christmas, and they kind of come in like they come in like a 7 day or a 12 day or a 24 or 25 day version.
Oh,
So
so
there's a
there
lot
are
of stuff out
options.
there.
I didn't know that they had options. I thought it would always like 24, 25. So there are shorter.
I've seen a Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do like 10-day sort
Mm.
of countdowns to
Mm-hmm.
things that are I know that a lot of people have sort of, because not everyone celebrates Christmas, they've kind of gone away
Oh, yeah.
from
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the Advent branding, and now
Mm-mm.
it's more like it's just a countdown calendar to go from
Oh,
like,
okay. So a generic thing. Okay.
and
So
they've even,
yes.
yeah, like a winter themed, or whatnot.
A winter theme.
They're
Correct, correct. Okay, so and I think it's been getting or gaining popularity here as well. As you said, most of them are beauty products. Okay, advent calendars for beauty products, and of course
Mhm.
treats like my son. Okay, I just want to show you. My son did this. It's the
Oh,
Bertie
cool.
Bott's. It's all jelly beans.
Oh yeah, yeah, the one for the Harry Potter one, right?
Yes, and then he also did this, but he hasn't uploaded anything yet. So the Funko Pop, yeah, it's
Oh, those looked cool. I saw
yes,
someone do those too, where I was like, oh, and they're all like holiday themed, aren't they?
yes,
Like
they're all
I mean, they're the
holiday.
normal characters.
Exactly. So these are the things that somehow, but I've never seen a crafty advent calendar here. So when I saw that you were doing that, I was like, what? There is such a thing. And then I saw that everybody basically was doing it. Lynn was having her own version of it. Shanna was doing something like it. Crafty Al was doing something like it. I was like, oh my gosh, we should have something like this in the future, right? So the other day or last week, I saw that you can actually buy something like a blank one here, Jay. So
Oh, that's cool.
yes,
And
a
then you can
blank
just make
one.
your own.
Yes, and then you can make your own. So I decided to create two for my most supportive YouTube what do you call this supporters this year. So there, it was just planned.
Oh, very
So
cool.
I added it. Okay, so but again, so probably thank you so much for inspiring me to actually, because yours was the first one I saw before Lynn's or before Crafty Al, before anybody else's. Okay, and so I said, okay, that's a great theme, right? So probably next year we're going to do that. So Jay, are there
Yay.
several kinds of crafty advent calendars available, or it's just this one?
Yeah. No, there are a number of different brands that do them. I've seen them primarily in paper crafting, and we have sort of a generic art brand called Arteza, which I don't know if they have that in your area or
Yeah,
not.
we have
But
slowly
they
having it. Yes.
okay, they've started doing one that's more like painting focused, I would
Mm,
say.
mm,
So
mm,
if
mm, mm.
you're more into like the art side of arts and crafts, some of them are coming. But I've seen them mostly for paper crafts. I think some of that is like paper crafts are a convenient size to package.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I know that some stamp companies too will do like I think Unity stamps and a couple others did some sort of like you get a little stamp every day kind of calendars. And um,
Oh,
the one that looked
so
really interesting this year was Pink and Main's too, because I know you've met
oh
those folks. But
yes. So Jay, there are actually a lot, or not a lot, but several options for
yeah,
crafty advent calendars. So, did you do this last year?
I did. Last year I did shorts with the Crafter's Companion one. They're also a
Oh.
UK brand.
Mm-mm.
They're sold on HSN here a lot as well. But
Mm-mm.
the thing that attracted me to the one this year is you don't wind up destroying the calendar opening it, which I like. A lot of them are sort of like, they're made out of like lightweight chipboard basically, and then like when you open the door, you sort of put a hole in the calendar.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
the one from this year that I've been doing has like little folios for every day, which
Oh,
I kind
that's
of like
nice.
because then like when you're done, you can package everything back and like not lose it because I did
Yes,
that last year. And I'm like, I don't know where half the stuff is because they're small things, right? So it's
yes,
like easy to
exactly.
misplace somewhere in your craft room, and you're like, I have the cutest like coffee stamp from that,
All
and it's
right.
like I don't know where that is today.
So last year you did Crafter's Companion. This year, what did you do? What is the name of the company or the craft company that you're doing?
The craft company is named Craft Stash. They have both a UK and a US version, and
Okay.
the Advent calendar is from their Papercraft Society brand,
Oh,
which
it's a
is kind of a
brand.
unique. It is. It's one of their sort of like one of their sub brands, and the interesting thing to me is like that brand is curated by 4 or 5 different designers. So
Oh,
you have like multiple lanes within that same brand.
oh, that's
I
awesome.
I didn't know about it until Lynn used to get their box of the month and has a whole series on her channel. If you want to see
Oh,
like their standard calendar, but I was interested in their advent because I like to use a brand that I don't know because I feel like if I bought the Spellbinders one, for example, like I
mm-hmm.
own so much Spellbinders stuff that like I feel like if it's a brand I know really well, I just like I get more for my money by just going and like buying product,
Yes, makes
because like
sense,
the
right?
advent you're always going to pay a certain amount of overhead because someone's curating it,
Oh,
and they're doing custom art and all that
mm-mm.
stuff,
So
right?
that's the
So
next
it's
question. That's a good thing to point out, Jay. So is it expensive, these advent
um
calendars?
I guess it depends how you feel about spending money on craft supplies, but so I would say they range between about $50 and about $70 US.
Oh, not
So
bad.
if I think about Yeah, I mean, if I think about it, you could probably get 2 to 3 stamp or die sets. Like you could buy about that much product. So I don't know. I think with the advents too, there's the question. Well, I guess with craft stuff generally, it's like, do you want something like a die that you can use forever, or do you want products that are usable right now? Like, do you want like paper
Mm,
goods? So that's
yes,
this
that's
advent
a good
calendar. I think
question.
has a really nice balance of that, but it
Mm.
kind of depends on you too.
Correct. But one thing I like about, you doing, me watching you do the advent calendars and all our other friends, right? It's like half the fun is like not knowing what you're gonna get, right?
Right.
Exactly. So if it's a known brand already, more or less you probably have an idea what it's gonna somehow look like, right? So I think I like what made you decide to do this year. Okay, Jay. So I'm I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sure a lot of people would want to see what I mean by what we mean by you doing the advent calendar for this company this year. Okay, but before we let you showcase that, okay, let's just say hi to Jason. Merry Christmas, Jason, and everybody saying hi to everybody. And of course, we have Zell. Hi, Zell. Hi, hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. Yes, a lot of people are probably
Hello.
still in bed or just
Oh yeah.
hibernating from staying up too late before Christmas Eve, opening up gifts and all of these things. I've seen some said a vest with only 12 days. So there you go. So indeed, so
Yep.
Jay said there are 7, there are 12, there's 24, and yours is 25?
Minus 25, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
that's
I mean, I
awesome.
think it's kind of strategic according to you too, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
like if they're the same price and you get 12 days, you're going to get bigger things, so you kind of have to decide like if you like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like
Mm-hmm.
for example, Spellbinders did one with like card stitching stuff that's
Oh, yeah.
12 days earlier in the
Stitchmas.
season.
Yes, I remember that
Yeah, the
one.
Stitch Mitch one. So I mean, if you
Mm-mm.
look at those, those are those are basically all dies and they're fairly large. So I mean,
Mm-mm.
it kind of depends on like how much stash building you want to do and like
Correct.
what kind of a
Knowing me,
crafter you
I
are
would
really.
have gotten everything if it was available.
Well, I
I
was
have
talking to some of
FOMO.
my friends and some people are like, "No, I can't possibly wait." Like my mom is a big fan of like waiting until holidays to open things, but like
Oh, wow.
I I was
She
out
has a
alive
very
with
high
other people who
EQ.
did it.
I cannot.
Huh?
She has a
Yeah.
very high EQ. She can wait. Most of
Yeah,
us
no, it's
cannot.
like some people are like, I we just need to open it. I mean, there's kind of a good logic to like if I open everything at once, then I know how to use things. But I don't know. I like the surprise.
Yes. Okay. So now, Jay, okay, if you would give us the honor of showcasing, guys, so Jay will show us all the 24 first, and then he will do the grand
Yep.
reveal. He hasn't also seen the 2050s the first time that he will open it
No.
up. And thank you so much for doing it here. And then, okay, I will. Okay, supposedly, Jay, we were supposed to craft with that 25th one, but I am going to give it a twist. I'll tell you later how it's going to be. Jay doesn't know
Ooh.
this as well, right? Okay, so let's go, Jay, and show them what you've got. Solo
Yeah. Let me just
crafting.
switch to my desk here.
Yes.
I think that's there. We go.
All right.
So this is the Advent calendar, and basically the way it's constructed is you get these little folios, which this
Mm-hmm.
is one of my friends was saying, essentially you could save this and actually make a mini album out of these because it's fairly nice paper. But the idea with the color coding on these is that the things that have the same pattern are aligned with the same designer. So
Oh,
depending on which designer it
genius.
is, some of them kind of took that and said like I'm going to take and I'll show you this in a moment, but some of them said
Okay.
that, hey, I really wanted to let me
Are they
I'll
coordinated
have the
somehow?
top
Let's say
here.
I'm the designer for
Yeah,
this
some
thing,
of
but
them are coordinated. Other
okay.
designers, I think, just sort of threw a bunch of stuff together. I mean, you can
Okay.
sort of, some people very much had like the idea that I'm going to do a project and I'm going to give you a piece at a time. But I can show you some of the things and then I can show you my projects as well.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you so much,
some of
Jay.
them I've given away, but this was the first day and it was, oh, I'm sorry, that's a little blurry. Let me put this down. There we go. That's a little easier to see. So the
Okay.
first day was this really cool stag, and it what is a stamp set. I think this is an A6. They're
Yep.
almost the same size as a 4x6.
Yes.
Whoop.
I was gonna say it's quite big actually, and there's several
It
of
is. I
them.
was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's four total. I was surprised that we got such a large stamp set, honestly. I
Yes,
assumed we would
because
get like maybe a 2x3 or something,
yes, because the
like.
other advent calendars are rectangular or square, so you can't squeeze in a lot of big things, right? It's really, really tiny. But since these are in folio
Right.
form, right? Okay. Oh, that's your project.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the when I did the first day. I mean, this is an A2, so I mean, the stamp is big enough to basically fill up the whole card.
Wow.
And so that's the project I did the first day.
Okay.
And I don't know, I was impressed. And again, I think it depends on what kind of materials you like.
Mm-hmm,
So the
mm-hmm.
second day sort of kicked off, and with that stag, we didn't really get a lot of coordinating products. But the second day kind of kicked off one of our major themes, which is the this flower ephemera. And here's a card with it, so you can get a better sense of how it looks.
Okay.
But so day
And there's
two
still
was the
so
flower
many
ephemera, and day
left.
three, oh yeah, and day three was the sentiment. So we got sentiment stickers on day three. But yeah,
Oh.
there's a ton left,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be noted, I think, that like I've made about 5 cards with this, and this is how much ephemera is left. So like, if you're
Wow.
used to like the, I guess I'll say like the not too shabby or spellbinder size of like I'm gonna give you an ephemera pack with a bunch of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, there was a lot of there both of the we got 2 ephemera packs. These were just the sentiments that I used. So this I think is sort of one of the days that you look at and you're like, well, I'll use this up, but then I won't really have anything left over. But I think I mean, a lot of these are really generic, which I
Mm-hmm.
like. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you get multiple fonts, you get multiple colors. These are the same colorway as the flowers,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So, um, you have a certain amount of that going on as well.
Are they from the
And
same
then,
designer, that one? The Sentiment and the ephemera pack? No.
no, they aren't actually,
Oh,
which
but
is
they've
kind of
coordinated
interesting.
somehow.
I think so, yeah. They're kind of two big themes. One is flowers, and one is sort of cute jungle animals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And then
Oh, this is the
I'll
planner.
say the products that I haven't used yet are really this is a stencil, which is the same size. This is also an A6, but these are
Mm-mm.
all very planner related, obviously. Like you have your
Yes,
like your lines and your check boxes and your little flag
exactly.
thingies.
More for
And, and
Hobonichis
I'm
and
hoping you can
Bujo.
teach me how to use
Oh
these
yes, we
too.
will. We will do that in January, guys. We'll have Jay again in
Because
January.
because I actually saved a lot of the planner stuff just
Mm-hmm.
because I feel there as we go on there's a day where you got a bunch of like calendar related stickers and I was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like just randomly use these.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, and this is really fun. So day 5 we got this leaf, but we got this piece which I
Oh
had no
yeah.
idea what this is. And you can see that I had no idea because I actually thought it was like a decorative piece. So I thought it was like, oh, we have all these embossed lines. Maybe it's just like geometric stuff. But
Yeah.
you and Stamper Girl were like, no, no, it's
Different.
actually a mechanism.
Yes.
And then we also got leaves. But what this mechanism actually does is it makes this card, which has this. So I'll let me put this sideways. Here we go.
Pop
So
up.
you see, there's two of those. Yep, and it
Nice.
what you can actually do is make it as a double one of these, where
Uh-huh.
if you shifted this up and then flipped one around, like where you have like this piece actually
Oh.
floats out of the card. So I haven't made a
Oh.
second one of these, but I thought this was actually one of the highest value things in the advent calendar because
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's
Interesting.
like not themed, but I mean you could use it for anything really. Like I mean
Yes.
any theme you want.
It's very
So
practical
um
and very nice. Absolutely.
yeah, and I mean, like, you could make this yourself, obviously, but like the way the mechanisms work, this particular mechanism works. Not to spend the whole stream talking about one card, but like,
No, it's a
these actual emboss, like these fold lines have to be
uh-huh.
pretty accurate, or it like wouldn't work properly.
Exactly,
But anyway,
exactly.
but that was
See?
this I think was one of my favorite days.
Mm-hmm. 5.
And let's see what we I'm even forgetting what day happened on what. Oh, and then day 6 we got some holiday paper. It's pretty much all gone. I still have a few of these. These are sort of it's not quite chipboard. But it's a thicker cardstock.
Mm-mm-mm.
And then you could cut these out yourself.
Oh,
Let me
great.
see. Let me grab
So
one of
because
the.
basically what
Oh,
Jay
here we
does,
go.
guys, is on the day that he opens up the advent calendar, he creates a project after, right? So there's his project for this
Yeah,
one. Very
yeah, and this
nice.
this is one of the this was one of the papers. The papers are really I thought all their papers were relatively pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I would say with the exception of the planner stuff that I didn't know how to use, but you'll teach me about.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else seemed very accessible. And I mean like I feel like they actually did videos daily as well to sort of explain how to use
Ah,
stuff.
okay, that's good.
Oop, and we
That's
haven't
nice. Oh,
and then
yes, I
this we
remember
got
this.
joyful.
Yes.
So and it came with the star. Actually, one of the this had a really interesting tutorial video. Let me grab. Here we go. So this is more of the paper from the previous day, and then the joy sentiment done in foiled
Foiled.
cardstock.
Uh-huh.
But they'd actually said you could actually die cut out of like fun foam, and then make stamps out of these too, which I never thought of to do with a
Oh.
die. But
Oh, okay. Have you
I
ever
mean,
tried
and
creating your own?
like well, I'll say when I was a child in like kindergarten, we had a
Uh-huh.
thing where we would basically where you take a potato and
Oh
you'd
yeah, that
like
one.
cut that to use it as a stamp.
Exactly.
And then in art class, I think somewhere in art class, we had this one I've actually given away, but basically we got a bunch of tags. Um,
Oh, okay,
this I think was
tags.
one of the days where you're like, yeah, I was a little like, well, I already own tag dies, but the nice thing is these are pre-die cut, so a lot of this calendar is
Yeah.
pretty friendly if you were
And they're
crafting on the
plain.
go.
So this one's a
I
very
made a
plain
tag
one.
with this,
Mm-hmm.
so it's in my video list, but I actually gave it away.
So there's a
Um,
playlist for this, guys, actually on Jay's channel.
there is, yeah, if you want to see all of them. I will say, um, and this is the first day that we got animal things. As you can
Okay,
see,
yeah, I
there are.
remember
I
this.
made a tag with this on this day that I also gave away, but we have sort of a few different animal prints.
Uh-huh.
which was a surprise. Like this was actually a surprise because I don't know. I thought it was a really unexpected theme.
Yes, because we were supposed to
Um,
be like expecting Christmas stuff, right? And all of those things. And then we got
well,
animals.
especially after that deer on the first day, I was expecting it to be very Christmas heavy, and it really
Uh-huh.
isn't. It's mostly floral and animals. But
Exactly.
and this is the
Oh,
second
the
stamp
gift
set we
one. Yeah.
got, the gift one, and I don't think I have a project on that. I am pretty sure I have that in my pile. Maybe I put.
Yes.
Oh, here we
And
go. So I
Vincent is
made a
here.
tag with the gift.
Yes.
Hi, Vincent. Welcome.
Merry Christmas, Vincent. And also Rich from UK saying Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. All
Hi,
right.
Rich. Yeah, I read all my chatty friends from uh
Oh, from
before. Yep.
Merigor. Oh, that's
But
the
this is the
tag.
stamp set.
That's a
Yep,
previous
and then I just
tag.
made a tag.
Okay. And then that's a gift. That's a nice stamp set. I
Well, and
like
I
that.
thought this was a nice stamp set too
Yeah.
because I mean a lot of these stamp sets are this and the planner stamp set. Like a lot of them are not really seasonal, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Yes,
they
you
did
can use
something
it the
else,
whole year
which
round, right? So nice.
yeah, and I mean the other thing that they did that'll kind of come to light as we go through. Well, you can see right now, right? So we just got. I made a whole of
Flowers
many
and
cards with
leaves.
this, but this is the flower die set that makes these flowers basically.
Oh, it matches with your
So
font.
you Yeah, so well, this is a stand. This was from my stash, but
Mm.
this almost exactly matches the die cuts. And then as we go on, there's also a
Oh.
stamp set. So it was really nice of them to give us the same thing in like three formats, basically.
So you have the dice,
But
the stamp, and then the paper,
yep,
the ephemera.
and there's
Okay.
actually, well, I won't spoil it. There's another thing with related to that, but I mean,
Ooh.
I thought these floral dies were awesome because like the one thing about um, some of these card themes is like flowers are like in everything theme, right?
I
So I
love
mean, you can use
flowers. You've
them for
seen me
almost
like
anything.
always use
Oh,
flowers in all my. Okay, that's another planner thingy.
this yeah, the planner thing is really cool, but I was thinking like I actually made a card with the sticky notes. This is probably the weirdest card I made in the series because it makes no sense because it's like I love you, thanks. I guess I can give it to my mom, but like um but I thought these would actually work really well as like swatch areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you
I can
want to
see
swatch
that.
watercolor or something, because you could do like, you could do a mass tone up here and then see
Yes.
the fade
Is
down.
are the
I kn-
thanks
in
die cut or are they stamped? The
No, these are
thanks.
stamps.
No, the thanks, the
Yeah,
words,
in
the
there.
sentiment.
Oh, the thanks is a stamp as well.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
this was one out of my stash. I
Okay.
had stamped the thanks, and I was just gonna do these, and people were sort of like, "We should put letters in them." So that's when the "I love you" came in. So I don't
Okay.
know. I,
Yes.
I'm always willing to like if my chat has ideas, I like to do them because I feel like kind of like the advent calendar, listening to other people kind of gets you out of like your crafty box a little
Yes,
bit.
actually,
But
yes, Jade actually does that. So if you are able to like see him notification that he is live, hop onto his channel and engage with the people in the chat. He asks us absolutely, what do you think? What color? Which one do I use? What do I do next? Right? So that's so cool. All right,
yeah, and this
Jade.
one is cool because you actually have the days of the week and everything. And
Yes.
I'm curious, you guys will have to teach me like how
Mm-hmm.
these sort of flags and bubbles with like essentially lines for writing, I think are. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that I've tried to save most of the
Yes. So those kinds of stamps normally
things.
are better used not with the happy planners, but with Bujo or bullet journaling and
Okay.
Hobonichi. Yes. So there
Well,
you
well,
go.
you laugh, right? Because I was going through my paper stash, like trying to figure out how much watercolor paper I have, which, by the way, is a lot. But I found a bunch of bullet journals. I was like, oh, I guess I don't need to buy these for January since I bought them.
Yay!
Um,
All
again,
right.
this one coordinates exactly with the
Is that
flowers
an
from all the
embossing
other
folder
things.
or is that a
It
stamp?
is, and it's a big one. Nope, it's an embossing
Oh,
folder,
okay.
and again,
Awesome.
this is the ephemera. This is all ephemera from day 2. And
Mm.
then I did this with it's a little hard to see in the light, but this is a metallic texture paste basically on top of the embossing. But
Nice.
anyway, It
And we
came out
have
pretty cool. I
Victor.
mean,
Yes. Merry
hi
Christmas,
Victor.
Victor. Hola. First thing I do when I wake up, check YouTube. Yes, and I am live. Thank you so much, Victor. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you. All right, so we are running through the Advent calendar, awesome Advent calendar of
Yep,
Jay.
more
Okay.
planning stuff for next
Yes.
month. This is the one I really wanted to save because I was kind of like I don't know which of the month stickers I'm gonna need. So that was my one sort of cheat of the Advent series. I was planning to craft with stuff on whatever day I got it, but then I started saving all the planner stuff.
Uh-huh.
These are the cute animals that coordinate with the other that will coordinate with other things. But
Mm-hmm.
I have so this is easier to see. This is the crocodile, and
Okay.
then
Oh, that's so
this is a
cute.
sentiment. Yeah, this is a sentiment from my stash too. This is paper from my stash, but it kind of coordinated really well. So anyway,
Yes, it's
but I don't know.
perfect.
It was a fun challenge too. I mean, it was fun to go
So
live every
mostly
day,
this
which
one was more of you have florals, you have jungle themed animals, and then it's a combination of stamps and dice and all of these things, right? Oh, that one, I love the project
yeah.
that you did with that one.
Oh, I thought this
Awesome.
one was. I mean, this is just more of the like you can see how much of the die cuts I've used.
Mhm.
The idea that there are any left is amazing.
And then
But
the ones that you had left over, you used with your show with Lynn, remember?
oh yes,
Yes, I
because
love
that
that.
was I made this card there, and
Mm-hmm.
I made one other. Where is it? Oh, and this is the other one. The flamingo is
Yes.
also part of that stamp set. But we are actually I don't know. It's like you don't think you make a lot of cards, and then you do one of these. Then we got some paper that coordinates with all the florals.
Oh,
Did I make a
nice.
card with that? Probably.
Love the color. What's the color of the year? I forgot the Pantone color of the year. Peachy something?
I
What?
don't know for this one. I know that like it was like periwinkle recently, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if we have a new one. I'm sure we have a new one for
Yeah, there is
2024. I'll have to
already.
look it up.
It's a little bit more muted than the one we have this year. I know it's like more in the very dark pink this year, but next year it's more very muted. So I think kind of that color. You know what they're having in that palette.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
these are the
nice.
stamps we got that are they match the dies and everything else. So I really liked how they coordinated.
Jay, this
Like you
whole
got the
set is
same
about
pattern.
$35 more or less for all of these
Uh,
things.
this was this was 55, I think.
Oh, 55. Yeah, that's super cheap if it's only 35. So 55 still with the amount of stuff
It's a
that
good
you've been
deal.
getting. Yes, it's a good deal. Oh, see, now you have another die
And
set.
then we got some birthday things,
Mm-hmm.
and this was one of the ones that I was kind of sort of like the tags where I was like, well, I people probably have stuff like this in their stash.
Mm-hmm.
These banner dies are actually probably the nicest thing on this day for me because like you can use them in
Mm-hmm.
a
And
lot of
even in
different
your planners, you
contexts.
can actually use those also for your planners.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think
Mm.
of that. And this
Yeah, you
is
can do like
22.
those for like the days or the month, like the date. So for 2, 3, like that, it's hanging on the sides. That can be, it's a
Oh,
nice
that's
one.
clever. I never even thought of that.
Yes.
And then we finally, well, then near the end we got some animal ephemera, which matches these animals
Yeah. So like what you said,
basically.
right? So they'd give you the stamp, they'd give you ephemera, they'd give you sometimes the paper that coordinates with it,
Well,
right?
I like
So
that because it's so nice
yes.
for like you don't know necessarily what the crafters will have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this
Exactly.
one I totally forgot to use the product. These are actually like mini foam dimensional squares,
Oh, so there are
but this is a
actually
card I made yesterday.
oh yeah, I remember that.
These were
Yes.
supposed to be popped up, but I forgot to do it at the end. But this was my
Uh,
last card, and
yeah,
I think this one
I
is neat
saw
because
that.
it's like you can. Well, it's like you can see that you can use the flowers in like not a spring context too.
Mm-hmm.
So you know,
Exactly. That
but
was a
that
good.
is.
That's the 24.
And one of my friends was like, "You should." Yep, that's 24. So now we have the last one.
Okay. Merry
I'm
Christmas,
hoping it's not a
Michael.
planner thing.
And
I
Merry
think it's not a
Christmas,
planner thing.
Simply.
It feels.
Okay, we'll see. What do
Oh,
you
Merry
think,
Christmas,
guys?
everybody!
Okay, guys, what do you think? Any clue, any guess? Does it like Does it, when you shake, does it make a sound, Jay? Is it soft? Is it
It
hard? What do you think?
it's sort of medium weight. Like it feels like the paper ones have always felt heavier. I'm gonna guess this isn't a paper product, that it's
Mm-hmm.
something else. I'll guess a like a stamp die or stencil, but I don't know
All
because we've
right.
gotten a lot of all of the
Okay,
things,
let's
but
do
we
the
shall
grand
see.
reveal. This is
What
it.
is it? It's something.
Oh, oh,
Ooh, what are we? It is
oh,
a
mini
little
book.
mini journal. It's a
Oh
mini
my
book.
goodness. So we cannot probably do a mini journal for the rest for the time that we have left. All right, so that's a mini
No,
journal,
but
right?
we
Yes.
can grab something else. But
Okay.
no, I mean I think this goes well with all the planner stuff, right? Because
Exactly.
you could
Oh
make your own
yeah,
like little.
that's why you're supposed to do that on that one. Maybe just a planner insert. You create a planner insert. I got it. Okay,
Yeah, I
Jay.
mean I think you'd want to. I don't
Yes.
know if this is adhesive or not, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it feels like the cover here might have adhesive attached to it. I'm not going to mangle it now,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
this is very smooth, so it feels like you would put a cover on top of this,
Okay,
right?
definitely. You can
Um,
personalize it. All
or
right,
I mean, you could
Jay.
do a traveler's
Okay,
journal or whatever, but
exactly.
we
So I have
will.
a surprise a bit for you. Okay, so Vess was
Ooh,
guessing a stencil? No. But it's a great mini book that actually probably Jay is right. Instead of Jay, can we do our face cam, front face cam?
oh sure,
Okay.
one momento.
So there you go. So what we're gonna do right now, okay? So we were supposed to, since we know that Jay is unboxing the 25th, okay, of his advent calendar thing, and he did. Thank you so much, Jay. And now we know that it's actually a probably a planner insert that coordinates with all the planner stuff that was included in that advent calendar. So Jay, this is what I have in mind. Okay. So initially what we said was we are going to make a project out of what day 25 is. But since we don't know what it's going to be, right? So what if it's true enough, right? It's something like a planner insert. I cannot probably come up with a planner insert like super fast and then decorate it, right? So what we're gonna do is
Yep.
something like this, Jay. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Okay, hold on. I will put
Ooh.
Jay with me over here in a little bit, and there you go. There's Jay. Okay, so Jay, my plan is this. Okay. So my plan is we are gonna put all the things that you have got in there, and then we're gonna probably choose just one or two, okay, and create something. Okay, so that's our
Oh, cool.
project for the day,
That
right?
looks fun.
All right, so I have here
Oh, I
stamps.
love that.
Okay, and then I have and I have you in the middle. That's our thumbnail. So ephemera, and then I have dice. I have stencil, so probably we'll let go of the planner. What else did you get into that one? So maybe we'll put flowers, right?
Yep.
And we'll put animals. What else
Oh
do you
yeah.
think we should put here? Other than the planner stuff. So I have stamps, ephemera, dice, stencil, flowers, animals. Did I get everything more or less
I think
represented?
so.
Okay. So guys,
Yeah.
based on this one, okay. So if you are in the chat and you also want to craft along me and Jay for about 15 to 20 minutes, because that's the time we have, okay, to craft and come up with this project, please do submit it on Mommy Guide Inc.'s Discord server. And on December 31st, I have a special live stream that is going to be New Year's Eve for me, December 34th, Jay and the other friends who are other parts of the world. I'm going to have like just fun and games and raffling out different stuff. And that I will
Well,
include
that
that
sounds
as well.
awesome.
Right? Okay. So let's do this, Jay. So we have stamps, ephemera, dice, stencil, flowers, and animals. So we will spin the wheel and get at least two of these. And whatever we get, that's the one we will work with. Okay? Do you want to put in colors? No. No more. Make it harder.
Well, we could if you want. I
Okay.
mean,
What color do
if
you
anyone
want?
in the chat has favorite chant, I'll say teal for
Okay.
my
Oh yes.
my favorite crafty community, and we
Yes.
have a bunch of it in the
Yes.
camera
Lynn
in the
loves teal
calendar,
as well.
but
Okay, and okay.
she
Teal and
does.
another color?
Oh, let's say orange.
Orange. Okay. So guys, these are the options that Jay and I will actually have to think and create for tonight. Okay, spinning the first one, Jay. First item that Jay and I need to use
Woo!
in our project for tonight is dun, 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 orange. Okay, so we will remove orange. So Jay, our project is has to be orange. Okay. And we have Cordelia. Hi, Cordelia. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Lala. And good
Morning,
morning to you.
Cordelia.
Good morning and Merry Christmas, my friend. Okay, me too. What's your favorite tea? Oh, they're talking about planners now, Jay. Okay, next
Ah!
one. So don't worry, guys. We will have Jay in January. We're just gonna choose a date in January for him to come in. That works fine with him. Okay, there you
Ooh,
go.
yay.
Perfect. Ephemera and
That makes it
orange.
easy.
Okay, so it can be any project that we want to do. Okay, just have to have ephemera and orange. Okay, again, based on the advent calendar that Jay created. Okay, or did this year. Okay, Jay, let's do crafting together. Okay, are you
Sounds
ready?
good. Let me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
while
I
Jay
think
is
that's
turning
perfect.
on to his
There we go.
crafting together, okay, guys, don't forget to connect with Jay. Jay is actually Craft by Jay on YouTube. Okay, so it's so easy to find and look him up. He has a playlist for this actual advent calendar thing. So if you could kindly head on to his channel, if my moderator daughter could actually put Jay's link in the comments, that would be super awesome. So you can check him out as well. And of course, don't forget our question for the day. Okay, have you ever done an advent calendar, whether it be crafty or otherwise? If so, what kind? Okay, can you share that in the chat? So while Jay and I are creating our project, we could actually, go through that and see it as well. All right, so crafting together now. Okay, so this is me and Jay, and we're
Yay.
going to be working with orange and ephemera. Okay, so now I have to look up something with orange and ephemera. So guys, if you want to
Yeah, and I'm
join
trying to
us,
remember
yes.
which day things are. After, oh, here we go.
Okay, so orange and ephemera,
But
guys. So there you go. We gotta have we have to look it up and choose orange and ephemera. Okay. And finish it in, Jay works actually really fast. If you've seen his
we'll see. Well, I'm gonna cheat this time because there's actually a pattern. There was a project that Craftstash did using this, and I'm gonna do a riff on it because it
Oh, cool.
came out really cool. Because
Yes,
they have been
because
doing like daily inspiration videos, which I always feel like that's the thing that really makes some of these calendars worth the money. Is like
yes, because also you need
you
to
get the product, but you get ideas too.
exactly, because if you're a fairly new crafter and they don't give us ideas, it's gonna be hard for them to actually, create something out of it, right? So that is nice that they have thought of creating, tutorials as well. I know a lot of people actually did spellbinders this year though.
That one looked really good. I
Uh,
was very intrigued by it.
so Jay, maybe
I
we
don't know.
should
I was
do next year too.
Oh yeah, I probably will. I don't know. I would like to because I really liked how a lot of the projects looked.
Okay. But honestly,
That's
how has it been? Have you been, was doing an advent calendar live stream daily? Is it easy? Is it okay? Was it tiring? How's your experience? Last year, did you do
like
also a daily one?
I really liked it. Well, the shorts were different because I kind of wound up like I wasn't trying to match the day with the shorts really. I just sort
Mm.
of I opened stuff on the right day, but then I was just sort of releasing the shorts whenever.
Mm-hmm,
Um
mm-hmm.
I don't know, I really liked it. I mean, I think it's more fun if you stream it because it's more interactive with people, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of at a certain point, it's like, well, I don't know. I really liked. I enjoyed the streaming with an audience aspect of it. I
Yeah,
think.
I was always like, oh no, I was always missing its live streams by several minutes. Like I was either in a meeting or I woke up a little bit late. So I said, Jay, can you please give me a reminder on top of sometimes I miss YouTube's notification. So if you could give me like a reminder on Messenger, that would be really nice. So he started doing that for me as well. So thank you. Sammy, can you please, my moderator daughter, put the link to Jay's channel in the chat, sweetheart, so that they can directly go there from the chat. Okay, so I'm trying to just look for orange. Okay, the orange
Well, it's sometimes a challenging
background.
color. I mean, I don't know in your part of the world, but like here we have a very like fall sort of idea of orange. So
Okay, I'll
it's
tell
kind
you
of
a funny
like
story.
it's always a little easier, like it's and like there are a million orange flowers, right? So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of funny that we kind of have that idea, but there's definitely like everyone thinks of like orange pumpkins, and then like if you're doing anything other than an orange pumpkin, people are like, "Oh my, that's kind of confusing."
In the Philippines, normally, although orange is a very nice color, but if it's like a super orange thingy, normally I don't wear it in terms of like fashion stuff and like that, because it's actually the color of the shirts of prisoners here in the
Oh,
Philippines, right? So
oh, I
and then
see.
when we were in creator camp, I was team orange, and our shirt was really orange all throughout. I said, "Oh no, I cannot wear this at home, back home." Right. So, but it's a very nice color. I have to agree with you. Okay, now I just hope that I can find. Okay, I don't wanna stand up. So I have certain stash of mine here beside me that I have been
Oh, that's clever.
using. That I've been using for the whole month. I've been doing a lot of DIY stuff and Christmas stuff, right? So everything more or less Christmas stuff, I have more or less beside me. So I'm just trying to look for something to use. You know what? Even if okay, Jade, is this orange enough for you? Does it look
It's
orange
yeah,
enough? Right?
I
Okay.
think so. I mean,
Okay.
coral's an orangey color.
Okay, there you go. See, I told you, Jay works really fast. He's almost done, and I'm still in the like, what will I use kind of thing, right?
Well,
So,
and this isn't an idea that like I would have thought of, but it's kind of a neat one, which is like you can take any kind of busy pattern paper, like this tiger or leopard spot one, and you
mm-hmm,
can like use it if you cut it into smaller geometric shapes. You can basically just use it as a pattern element,
mm-hmm.
right?
So
So
it's
then, if
yes,
you do something like this with more, I mean, obviously this is like green and not white space, but like, if you essentially have like white space, you can sort of make some pretty interesting stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because I've gotten a lot of pattern paper where I don't know if this is just a me thing, but it's kind of like there are some really like large patterns that I'm always like, I don't know how I'm going to use that because it's pretty big, and if I just use it as a background, it would be like way too much. It would like
exactly. It's
basically kill
overbearing, right?
whatever.
It looks very
Yeah,
overbearing when it's
exactly.
too big.
I mean, not in a bad way, but just in like
Yeah.
there's you would just have a lot of it would be a lot, I guess.
Mm-hmm. True, true. Okay, so I have an ephemera pack here that's somehow on the art, but they're very big, and I want to do a tag. So that's the thing, is that I'll probably cut up some of these so it's not gonna be too big, so I can still put them as part of. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that we'll picked ephemera because I always feel like that makes it about 15 times easier to make a card because I'm like, okay, well, someone else did all the work, so
Yeah, so
hooray.
it's a Merry Christmas thing for us. Ha ha ha. So the wheel, okay, helped us, okay, by giving us a nice set of things to do. Okay, there you go. Choose from. Okay, probably I'll use this one. Okay, come up with. Okay. I also want to have those flowers, but they're kind of. So for a change, I really don't want to do car. I'll do the tags, but they are all so big. Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
There you go. And we have Pam. Hi, Pam. Hello, people. Okay, why is this so small? Okay, let's do it over there. Okay. Spooling around. Hi, David. David, I hope you're feeling better, my friend. Merry Christmas. David. David. Dallas of Stamper Girl is asking, how can she get the pattern? Because apparently the pattern that I attach is not linkable. There's no link to it. So if you could send us a link where they can actually get the pattern for the Christmas stockings that we did, that would be super great, David. Thank you so much in advance, my friend. All right. So that's David spooling around.
That
He
was such a
actually.
cool stream, though. I really like that a lot.
Exactly. Although I
Um,
had a lot of tech issues, it's a good thing that David was, so good that he basically just took
oh,
over for me when all the things in my stream started going bunkers. Right. So thank you again, David. But he's a little bit under the weather now, not really feeling the best. So I hope you get better soon. Thank you again, David. Okay, and there you
well, I don't
go.
know. I feel like everyone is so generous about tech issues just because people realize that they happen. Although
Yes.
it's funny when I was the only warning I ever got about streaming was, well, I got two. One is you're going to have tech issues, and the other one is like your personality really comes through on streaming the way it doesn't necessarily do on like an
Yeah.
edited video.
You know,
So I
guys,
thought that was not true at the time, but it
mm-hmm.
really is.
Yes. In the beginning when I was just starting, Jay, where I was basically just using the built-in camera in my laptop and the built-in camera and built-in audio. I didn't even have a
Hmm.
lapel or headset or anything. It's just basically coming out of the speakers. So the audio was really bad, the video was really bad, but and every time I would have tech issue, I was like, "Ugh," I could cry and just wanted to stop the live stream and end it. But through it all, I learned so many things. And now, what Jay just said, what did you just say, Jay? That when you do live stream, that tech issues is something that you are really
Yeah.
going to get in any form or shape. It does happen, so you just need to roll with the punches, right? So don't end. If you don't have audio, you do sign language. Or you just
Well,
put
yeah,
it
and the
in the
one
chat.
someone had said like, well, if you think about like live TV, like we don't,
Uh-huh.
if you were watching a live TV, you wouldn't really you wouldn't really have you would be fine with the fact that sometimes weird things happen. And it's like, yeah, you just need to sort of roll with it.
Yes. And that's something also that we learned that the people who are watching and who are really are on point with what we're doing, they don't really care. They're very forgiving of us having tech issues, right? So don't think that just because you feel you are not techy enough, that it's not going to be possible for you to create content. So that's something that Jay actually mentioned a while ago, that he just started with phone, right? If you don't need to start
Yep.
with with a very expensive camera and all. Speaking of which, I think Victor mentioned something here. Oh, I forgot about the orange. Haha, good thing I don't own any orange clothes except our camp shirt. Yes, because Jay, Victor is coming over in
Oh,
February.
really?
He's gonna join our camp, craft getaway.
Oh, how cool.
Yes, exactly. And of course, I'm gonna be touring him around our country. Okay, he's gonna be here for almost 3 weeks, so that's gonna be
Wow,
super
that's
awesome.
amazing.
Yes, I'm super excited about it as well. So don't bring orange shirt, Victor. So he said he's not. He's not. Okay, but we were campmates actually in the creator camp. So he said he's not bringing that though. But we have an amazing, camp shirt. I really love it. It's just that oh no, so there were red, there were blue, yellow, and Victor and I were team orange.
Oh, how fun!
Yes, it's Jay, if it happens again, and I know it's gonna happen again, it's gonna be in about October. I hope you can join. It's probably gonna be in Boston again. Are you near
Oh,
Boston?
okay,
By
that's
is it
relatively. I mean,
relatively?
it's fairly easy to fly to.
Okay. So Victor is actually from Chicago. A lot of people from the US
Oh,
also
cool.
did have to fly in, but it's super worth it. And you being a very crafty person to start with, you will really have fun. Promise. And because you are
Well, it
also
seems
very
like you
much
guys got a lot out of it too. I mean, if for
yes.
the networking element of it, then nothing else, you know.
Exactly. So I said, one of the reasons, okay, major reason for me in going was when I learned that Marcus was coming, Victor was coming, like all of my friends who I've known, only virtually were coming. I said, Marcus is from Switzerland, and then most of them are from the US. I said, okay, I'll make this work. Okay, although it's very expensive for me, I will try and make it work, right? So there you go. I did was able to go and join, and as I said, it's super duper worth it, and I'm so happy that I did. And hopefully, Jay, you can join us next year.
Well, it seems like Boston is a pretty easy place to get to.
Yes, I hope it's still Boston though, because they're also thinking
Well, I
it
mean, you
could
know.
be Hawaii. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So, but then that's just a thought. We still don't know exactly. We're gonna find out soon enough. Okay, this year it was
Well, it
just
should be
about a
fun.
hundred. Yes, it was really just 100 people, but everybody is
Oh,
is super
that's cool. Then
supportive.
you really got to know people. I mean,
Yes.
like sometimes those I forget, like the last work thing I presented at that was a conference, it's like, well, it was a couple thousand people, and it's like you don't really get much FaceTime with folks because it's
Hmm.
like, people are here and they're gone, you know?
You can really get to know basically everybody, and then even though we have our own camps, right? Camp group, it doesn't matter in the bus, or when we're doing certain
Oh, yeah,
activities.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like, of course, we're competing in a way, because I'm like the treasurer. I was the one holding all our comp money. So every time there's a workshop and we finish it, so the instructor
Hmm.
or will give us a certain amount of comp money. So at the end of the day, of
Oh,
the camp,
interesting.
whoever got the most amount of camp money wins. Okay, the whole team will win something, like most of them got camera, switch pod, and all of these things, right? The
Oh,
winners.
wow.
Yeah, so it was really fun, really. So I said, the very thing that made me go is I really wanted to meet my friends who I've been friends, but most of them were just virtually, to finally meet them in
Yeah.
person, right? And it was super worth it. I'm so glad I did come.
Well, I think that's
And
I
hopefully
don't
there
know.
is
I just
something
feel
like a
like there's still
crafting,
something about meeting people in
yes, like crafting
person that's neat.
thing also, Jay. Maybe you guys can come up with something like that, right? So maybe, or if you
Oh,
guys
that's
can come
true.
in for craft getaway, you can come in February. But that's just
And can you attend that virtually? It looked
oh,
like you had virtual options
yes,
too.
yes, there's a virtual option, of course, but I would love for you to guys to be there also. But definitely in the future, if you guys or Lynn is gonna come up with, something that has a face-to-face component, right? And I hope I can join. I would really love to be there and meet you guys in person. Okay, so is Jay almost
Well, yeah,
done?
it's interesting.
Yes, Jay.
No, well, I cheated a little bit, which not really, but like, so I put
No.
one of the squares on really crooked, so I glued
Mhm.
ephemera on top of it. Oops, sorry, I'm out of
Oh, there
frame.
you go.
So
See
I
that.
wound up I just glued the ephemera on top of it, so I could just do like a cute little
Exactly. And
sentiment.
that's
But
absolutely fine, right? Because,
oh
as you
yeah,
said,
it's just
no
like
accidents.
I forget who I was heard speaking, and it was it was a crafter who has a very I think it was probably Gina K. It was someone who has a very like um who does lives and does them perfectly all the time, and like she was like, the reason they're perfect is because we practice, you know. So if you're
Uh-huh.
doing more of a parameter challenge, like it's never
Yeah.
going to be perfect. Whoop.
Yeah, even if you practice, there are many things. It's something I've learned from live streaming for almost 2.5 years now. There are many things like your network can die down, right? So if you have
Oh
bad
yeah.
weather, right? So you're like you and Dawn, you were like, wow, this they are such troopers. You didn't let the power outage. Dawn and you worked with data just to have the art Yahtzee thing keep on going
Oh
well.
yes.
Yeah, so
Dawn is great.
it will happen, right? So if you think that
Oh
you've
yeah.
got everything perfectly, set up, think again. There are days that you can actually experience those kinds of, oh, everything is perfect today. But then again, most
Oh
of the
yeah.
time there will be instances where it's not so perfect, but you just got to go with the flow and be okay with it, right? Because at the end it's you being able to craft and be able to engage with the community that we have is
Oh yeah,
even
totally.
yeah, is more important, okay, than being perfect. And I don't think anybody here expects us to be perfect, right? no one is
No.
no one is perfect. Even the greats like Jennifer Maguire, who has been doing live streams now also, right? So it's so much fun to watch her. She is so authentic,
Oh, I didn't know she was live.
yo
I'll have to
she
check her out
she has been doing
because
lives.
she.
I think she has been encouraged by Kathy, because
Oh,
Kathy
okay.
just recently, uh like a month ago or several months ago, reached 75,000 really really fast.
Oh yes.
Okay, so it's like, oh, okay, so now I think they finally convinced Jennifer Maguire to do some live streams. So she has been doing it, and you would see how authentic she is when she says, okay, this is not something I'm comfortable with. I like edited videos and things like that. So you would really see that she wasn't comfortable, but she was trying to do it because a lot of people also want to see her go do lives on top of edited videos, right? So perfection.
Well, and I mean, I think people just like the interaction too. Like, there's just
Mm,
something about folks when they're live that you just kind of feel like. I mean, it's nice that you can ask crafters questions and stuff too, especially if you don't know how someone did a particular technique or
exactly.
whatnot.
And sometimes, like in my case, Jay, if you see me and I'm not like live streaming, just maybe a photo. I don't know if you've seen my website and my picture there looks somebody like doing like that. You'd see like, oh, she looks, foreboding, or she might be, she might not be a nice person like that. So I always have to like
Hmm.
smile and do stuff like that because I have like a very strong features. So people think
Oh, I
that,
see.
yeah. So but being able to see somebody do a live stream, and I think it's going to be very hard for a live streamer to hide his true personality and self because
I
when
think it's
things,
impossible.
yes,
I
because
mean,
when,
because editing gives you so many tools, right? Because
yes.
like I'm pretty silly, but like I could edit, like if I edit myself into an 8-minute video explaining how to make a card, like you can get rid of a lot of that. But like on live, you can't. I mean, like you're just whoever you are, and like, and that's great because I think
Mm,
it's nice to see that people aren't perfect. I
exactly.
guess. I mean, I like that element of the live a lot because it's just sort of like, it
Same,
makes it
same.
makes you appreciate that like these are more people who have like developed a craft versus they were just born with like, being able to like glue on card panels straight. Who was it? I don't know if you streamed with Sarah Lynn's of Sassy LLC, but like one
No,
of
not
her
yet, not yet.
her quotes I love. One of
They're
her
very
quotes that I just
new.
love is like, well, of course I glue park channels straight. I did it if it, like if you do something 1,000 times, you're gonna get better at it. It's like, oh, you're not wrong. Like, you know, like
True,
a lot
true.
of my cards tend to look more professional now than they used to, just through practice. It's not like It's not
Exactly.
intentional,
And
really.
now in the beginning, cause you can't, it's something that I think everybody would initially have the feeling of course, because we look up to like Kay Warner, we look up to Jennifer Maguire,
Mm.
we look up to Gina Kay.
I just
So,
found Kay
right?
Warner. I can't. I'm excited to actually watch her content because she was on Craft Roulette, I think, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I forget who I messaged. And I'm like, you know, have heard of this person? And they were like, yeah, she's kind of a big deal. I'm like, oh, I probably should know who she is.
Oh my gosh, I should haven't gotten a heart attack, right? So it's like, and so sometimes your peg is I have to look like them, I have to be as good as them when I create a project. But then you
Mm,
realize that there will always be just one Jennifer Maguire, one Kathy Zilski, one Jenny Kay. So you just have to be who you are. Be your authentic
yeah.
self and go out there and just enjoy, right? And people are just gonna love you for who you are. There you go. Jay, please zoom out
Well,
a
so
little
many
bit.
people.
Okay, let me see. Maybe on
Oh,
my
sure.
end. Okay, hold on.
I can zoom out if you need me
Yeah.
to.
Okay, there
Just
you
let
go.
me know.
Okay, because it's kind of hard to be a guest on somebody else's live stream. So, okay,
We'll
everything.
just
Yes. Every time I live
we'll
stream,
just
it's kind
keep.
of a disaster. And that's part of the
Oh,
charm. Exactly, David, right? So, haha. That's right.
there
Part
we go.
of the
That's a little
appeal.
better.
There you
Whoop!
go. Okay.
I am going
Okay,
the
I
wrong.
think
Oh,
I'll just
I was
end
going the right
with two for
direction.
today. But I don't think I have a sentiment though for it. So let me just try and look for a very fast sentiment so I can finish this thing off. Okay, that's the thing
Yeah,
when
I
you
feel
have.
like anytime I get like ephemera that has sentiments, I always feel like really spoiled because I'm like, oh, that's gonna make this about a million times easier.
Right, so I have to that's the thing, most of the sentiments are quite big, right? So I have to find a sentiment that's a little bit, smaller, so that it would and a little bit on the ephemera side, I mean vintagey looking thingy. All right, so I think I can
Hmm.
fit this in. Okay, I'll probably have that. Give me a few more minutes, I'm almost done. I know Jay is done, guys. So okay, I'm still
Oh, no
struggling
worries.
with my
It always
sentiment.
it always
Okay,
it
just
always takes me a minute. There we go. Now we're a little clearer and more zoomed out.
okay.
But
So I think I'll have this as a sentiment for this
oh,
one,
that's cute.
and then this one will be for this.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
just
like the weird thing about streaming with people is like that you don't notice their project at all because you're thinking about yours, and I'm like, oh wow, those are really cool tags.
right,
Like,
because yes, so we just look up and down like that, and then also
yeah, yeah,
we have to engage with the audience. So all these things we learned along the way. In the beginning, I tell you, Jay, when I
yeah.
was beginning live streaming, I would begin and end the live stream without even looking at the chat. I was like, I thought
Oh
when you
wow.
live stream, you will just go live and do
Oh, I
whatever.
see.
Right. And the thing
Yeah.
I learned how to, engage with the chat when I joined Lida, that's live every day in April, where I actually met also Debbie. Okay, so that's where
Oh,
I
cool.
actually met. And that's where I learned that I needed to actually engage, because that's where we practice, right? How to engage with people and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. So after that, I started engaging with people. Oh, I actually need to read those. I thought you just let it go, right? And people will just talk to each other and that will be fine, right? So again, these are things that I would never have
I just
known.
like it though. Like I think talking with like other crafters in the chat is just kind of
Mm-hmm.
fun. Although
Exactly.
like it is a skill set that I think is harder to develop than people think about, where it's like to sort of multitask between like what the chat's saying and what you're doing and like all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
It takes
there
a
there's just
while.
some people who are total pros at it. I'm like, "Oh, you can do all those things." That's a lot of things.
Right? So it does take a little bit of, practice and all, but once you have it and and the way you learn is from all the, supposed mistakes, but actually from
Mhm.
those we learn so much. Okay? So I'm still don't know what I'm going to do with this. Okay, so give me a minute or so and I'll have this figured out so that I can
Well, and
finish. Okay.
I just appreciate the folks who show up like all the time to streams too, because it's sort of like I don't know.
Yes.
I like doing that, but like I also like it's always nice to have someone to chat with.
Yes, that's very true because I know everybody's busy. Like, especially, I can be
Yeah,
very, very chatty.
especially
You know
now.
that, right? So, yeah, especially now. Everybody's busy. The holidays and all, tired, you just want to rest, but you guys spend a little bit of your time with me and Jay today, so that is super awesome and appreciated. There you go. Pam said
Yeah, I don't
thanks,
know how it is in
Jay.
the Philippines, but it's like everyone here is like all the adults around me are like, I'm excited for the week after Christmas where we don't have like places to be. I'm like, you're not wrong.
All right. So here, yes, Christmas is really, somehow more fun when you are a child, rather than
Oh yeah.
when you are an adult. But it still has its perks, though, because when you were a child, you didn't have that much of wiggle room in terms of finances and where to go, what to
No, that's
do,
true.
right? But then it's somehow still fun, whether what time of or what age or what season in life you are in. Okay, I think I will have to, okay, be done with this and accept that this is as far as I can get with this project for now. Okay, so that is it for me.
I
Okay,
think it's
so
great.
two. Okay.
Those are really cool.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, hi, Pam, says Cordelia, and everybody's saying hi and Merry Christmas. Yes. Cordelia said, I was gone for a big. I had to put up two presents that came way before Christmas and I couldn't find. Oh, no. I hope you did find them. Were you able to find it, Cordelia? As I was saying, Jay, the other day, I've been trying to look for my Rode Wireless Go for almost several weeks now, and I think I will have to really declare it lost because I really cannot find them.
Well, that's sad. Those are kind of
Yeah,
spendy.
yeah. I
Oh well.
actually, at least I was able to use it for creator camp and some of the trips that I
Oh,
had,
that's
but
good.
it's sad. It's sad. Okay, so Jay, let's do solo. Okay, solo overhead,
Alrighty.
so we can showcase what you did in a bigger view. Okay, Jay is gonna do that in a
There we
little
go.
bit. There you go. Okay.
There we are. So I use the ephemera from day 23, which is all the jungle critters. Here you see the crocodile I used on my other card. But I
Mm-hmm.
used the lion, and then I used the leopard pattern paper, and it was definitely orange. And then I just
Mm-hmm.
popped up the lion on a little foam tape.
It's such a cute
But sorry
lion.
about that. It's cute. I mean, this whole stamp set is just has a really
Mm-mm.
cute animal vibe to it. And then I've been trying to use my scraps a little bit better. So I had an extra square, so I used that in a little die cut on the inside.
Oh, that's so
And I'll
nice.
figure I tend to leave a lot of
Coordinates.
these like I leave the sentiment part on the inside blank because then I can
Mm-hmm.
just use it for whatever.
Awesome. So I hope that you like that take of Jay. Okay, and then I'll show you my take now.
Ooh.
Hold on. Okay, I will just have to remove this part. Okay, there you go. Okay, and do this. See, I'm editing on the fly and open this. Okay, there you go. See, that's live stream. Okay, guys. So this is what I did. Again, our peg is orange. Has to have orange and it has to have ephemeras. Okay. So basically, these are all ephemeras from different paper packs or different theme projects that I have here beside me. As I've been doing a lot of Christmas projects. So this is one. So one of the things that I think you have, for those who are following, have been following me, that I like doing is I like layering stuff, right? So I love layering stuff. So I basically started with just the orange tag, and then just layered them up with, because this ephemera pack came with a lot of, big ephemeras. Okay, so they're kind of huge. And if this is just a tiny, tiny, like what do you call that, stag, it's super overwhelming, right? So I decided to chop some of them into quarters, so that brown one to just break the monotony of the all orange thingy. I added there, and then the sentiment here is Happy Holidays. I really couldn't find a small, sentiment unless if I have to stamp, but that's gonna take a while. Oh, and then I see something here, Peace on Earth. That would have been even better. Okay, but then it's so white.
Ooh.
It doesn't coordinate with anything here. I should have inked the sides first. But this can be, I think I would put this later on. And then, ink the sides so that it's not too white. Okay, and then just added a little bit of confetti blings on the sides. And then the second one, of course, it's a tag. Okay, reprinted, but then again, I like layering stuff, so this kind of big flowers I normally just cut the other parts and then layer some of them, and then just added the blinks to the middle of the flower, and then just added the sentiment. I will be, again, this came with a bigger one. I just cut off so that it's gonna fit in my tag. So that's it for our take. Okay, so Jay, let's do face cam. Okay, Jay is already there. Oh, he's already set up. He knew what
Yep.
was coming. Okay, so I need to move Jay over here. Hold on. So we're the same. See?
Woo.
It's not perfect. I'm always
I,
tweaking stuff,
I
but that's
I
fine.
love your
Okay.
take on using peach and coral. Like that's such a cool take on orange.
Oh,
It's
thank
like
you,
I didn't think of
Jay.
that. That's a neat idea. Well, I don't know. It's like that's why I love sort of these kind of challenges because it's like I
Mm.
would have never thought to do that. And
I,
it was
you know, when you, that's
fairly
the only thing I
recently I
have.
heard from someone.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jay.
Well, and it's like I feel like fairly recently someone
Uh-huh.
showed me that you can actually make ephemera smaller by cutting it up, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's obvious. I never thought.
Yes, because that's the thing. That's the only orangey thing I have here, and they're all huge. So how can I fit them in this small, small,
Yeah.
tiny tags, right? So chop them off, right? So and then we have some other people coming in. Yes, ouch, Cordelia. Indeed, I've been like sad for several days. Then I just have to accept that that's life, and hopefully I just misplace it, and hopefully one of these days I'll find it in the trash can, or I'll find it somehow stashed with some of my scraps. I don't know, right? So I've been like that lately. I keep forgetting where I put things. And we have T. Hi, T. Yes, this is Tracy. I'm not afraid of color. Were you able to see her live stream with Mike, and she taught him
Yes, that was
foiling?
hilarious.
Yeah, I had so much fun. I think Mike is super awesome as a crafter. He's very meticulous. He's taking his sweet time, right? So no, no, I'll take my time. I'll take my time, right? So, oh no, my son. Sorry
No,
about
and
that.
I mean, I think it's so helpful to see people who are new to crafting, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we're all so used to seeing professional-ish crafters, where
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to see someone learning for the first time too.
Yes, and it's so nice that Mike, guys, for those who don't know, is Tracy's husband. Okay, and he's so cool about going through this challenges with T. It's so nice, and of course Cordelia says Merry Christmas to T and to Mike as well. There you go. I love both your projects. Thank you so much, Cordelia, and I hope that you did find the project that you were looking for. Jay, kindly invite them over. When do you actually do your live streams, and how often do you upload your videos? How can they follow you?
So you can follow me mostly on YouTube. I stream Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Central US time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the best place to find me live usually. And that's my other videos kind of flow in around that, but I would say like most of my usual folks like show up at the Sunday lives and we get
Mm-hmm.
to chat and usually do a project, and they tend to run like an hour to an hour and a half, so they're not like super long, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
nice way to kind of close out the weekend. So I've been enjoying those a lot.
All right. Thank you, Jay. And
And I'm on
guys,
Instagram if you like
oh
photos.
yes, of course, Instagram, right? So Instagram, YouTube. Okay, so for now, okay, I think
Yep.
there are others, right? So he also has
There are, but the other
yes,
ones I'm not super active on,
not
but
yet. Okay.
they exist.
Yes. So if it's Sunday for you guys, it's Sunday 6 p.m. for you, Jay. Is that correct? 6
Yep,
p.m. Okay, so that's gonna be, and you're central, right?
I am, yeah.
Yes, so that is gonna be about 8 a.m. for us. So just perfect, on a Monday morning, going to work, preparing for work, right? So you can just, watch Jay. That's how I actually got to, watch more of Jay because Monday is normally just not I normally start my Mondays really kind of slow, right? And I watched Jay while doing that. And he did this, yesterday, was it yesterday where you did Christmas stories?
Oh yes, that was a very silly stream, but
But I
yeah,
love
I was
it.
reading some of like my family's favorite Christmas stories. So yeah, my mom actually watched it. She doesn't usually chat, but likes to
Uh-huh.
lurk. So I don't know. It was fun. I had a good time.
Yes, I know a lot of people say, no, niche down, niche down, let's focus. But sometimes I do love seeing crafters do something, a little bit, on the different,
Yeah.
topic. So I really love that. Thank you so much, Jay, again. And everybody, Merry Christmas to you all. Merry
Merry
Christmas, Jay.
Christmas.
And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity for you to actually do your last day unboxing. And how perfect is that, Jay? Because it was a planner insert, which actually is a
It
perfect
was.
segue for our next collaboration in January, which is actually about planner setup, right, guys? So please don't forget to follow Jay on his YouTube channel first and foremost. Okay, with that, thank you again so much. Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye. See you tomorrow
Merry
for
Christmas.
another Vlogmas Day 26 with Manong Lee. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So there you go. Thanks for watching, everyone. And hope to see you again tomorrow for another Vlogmas Day 26 this time here at Mommy Guiding. Merry Christmas and have a great rest of the day, everyone.